Don't trust your eyes, test your code. This is the application we will be testing using unit tests and XCTest within Xcode. So we'll be testing the data layer to make sure that the data layer returns the appropriate data for each of these elements, like for these tabs, and also to make sure it returns the right information for the event data, and to make sure that it's all functioning correctly. The first thing we need to do to create our unit test is to create a new target. Click on File, New, Target, type in unit test, select the unit testing bundle. I'll just call it Testing 101. Click on Finish, and then it creates a new folder called Testing 101. The first thing we need to do, or the next thing we need to do, is to create a mock. The purpose of the mock is to enable data to be available for the test. So we need to use the event service protocol. So let's find the event service protocol, or the event service.swift file, and then make sure it's available in our test. So once you're in the event service file, which is this one here, click on your test 101 in your right hand pane within your target membership. Make sure there's a tick. And then the next thing we need to do is to implement the event service protocol within our mock event service. And then we need to add or create mock objects or mock array objects. And these objects will be defined this way. It's called room event, as we created in the previous tutorial. Name, room event isn't coming up, that means it's not part of our test. So let's locate the room event class. Where is it now? Room event. As you can see, it's not part of our test, so we need to click on the plus sign for testing 101. Now let's type it in again. So yeah, so room event that has a name. Just call it mock event 1. Image URL. There shouldn't be a bracket there, as we're still adding items to our array. Image URL, nil, cost is free, location is London, venue the coffee house, and then start time 2025 -04 -20 it should be -20 1800 hours end time it's a bit similar to the start time, so that will be 9 o'clock, and status, which will be upcoming, as in upcoming event. So this is our first array. Oh yeah, we also missed out something, and that is forgot to create the actual function. Function fetch events. Missed out a separator there. So that's our first array. We need to create a few more records. I'll just copy and paste. And then just change some of the information. This will be mock2, mock3. The cost for mock2 will be £10. Location will be Manchester. Library bar for the venue. The time will be updated. And the end time will be updated as well to 2022 04 2022. And the status will be draft. And then for the third record, it will be mock3 nil. It's a free event, location Bristol. Venue 360. And then for the times, we just make it, just change to 20 to 5 for the date, and then, yeah, this is the times, 5:30, so 17:30. That'll be 8:30. And then 25 at the end, and then the status will be published. I'll just compile it. So now we have our mocks. We can start to create a few test methods. So the first thing we will test is the tabs to make sure that the information is being read for draft and published. @main actor. So that will mark the test to run on the main actor, since we're using observable properties. Function, test, load events, set events, and tabs. So this function will also, this test will also make sure that the array, the set, does not include any duplicates. View model equals event list view model. So we need to do a search for event list view model, which is this one here, and include it within our test by clicking on the tick for testing 101. Event listing view model, or event list view model. So we pass in the service as a dependency, which is a mock event service. And the next thing we need to do is to call await view model load events. And then we use our XCTest equals to verify that we have received 3 records, or 3 records are within our 3 records is in the array. Counts, so there's 3 model events, count 3. Also, we need to check if the expected statuses were extracted. So we need to create another XCTest true, pass in the view model, tabs, contains, does it contain upcoming? And remember, all of this information is coming from our mock service. As you see, upcoming, and we have 3 events, as in 3 records within our array. I'll just copy and paste that. And the next tab is draft. Next one is published. So now we can try and test to see if our test will fail or pass. Rules for testing. Really, it should have displayed the diamond sign there. Let me see what's wrong. Let me try it this way. There's some corruption. Did you forget to declare this file as an output of the script phase? Let me see if I can fix that offline to reduce the length of the video. You had to fix a conflict within Xcode, so now it seems like it's found the function, test load events, set events and tabs, test function. As you can see, the diamond shape is there, so I can run the test. So let's see if the test cannot test target on spare room test. Oh, we have to select an iPhone simulator, any iPhone device for the simulator. Try it again. And then show the console just to see the output, if there's any errors or anything. And then we should see a tick for the first test, which is this one here. Test load events, set events and tabs. There should be a tick when it's completed. Or if it's failed, then there won't be a tick. It's taking a bit of time. Yeah, it just take a long time. Let me pause the video so it doesn't make the video too long. The test should be executing now. Simulator, it should take such a long time. Oh yeah, now you can see that the test passed. So since the test passed, that means each of these 4 lines were true. There's 3 elements, 3 records in the array for the events, and each of the tabs contains upcoming, draft, or publish. So if you want to make sure that the test fails, we can just enter any information that's not in the mock. So I just enter upcoming with a number 1, and then we run the test. Then now the test will fail. As you can see, the test failed. So in next week's tutorial, we'll be implementing more of the tests for the application. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials.